Hello everyone, this is Yoko. On this channel, I feel that information about what is happening in China is often not correctly conveyed to countries other than China, so I will be disseminating the information I have gathered in English. I'm getting information from multiple media, so I'd be happy if you could comment on the content of the video. Also, my native language is not English, so I use an AI speaker to create the voice to convey the information correctly. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel and support us. I'm going to tell you a story related to yesterday's spy story. Information about the Chinese military was released in the United States last year. When you think of the military, you probably think of the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy, but China has a rocket force. This rocket force also has a unit that handles nuclear weapons, so it will be a vigilant unit for the United States. And the document was information about the rocket unit. There are 250 pages of feed in total, but it was published in October 2022. The content is information about the location of the base and the chain of command. There is also a description of the real names of executives and members, and it is written in detail. This document is available for anyone to download and read on the internet. The release of this document shocked the Chinese side. It is true that the United States has a detailed understanding of the inside of the Chinese military, but it is highly likely that the source of information is provided from within China. In other words, it is thought that a person in the executive class of the rocket unit is leaking information to the United States. The Japanese mass media do not report negative information about China, so there is almost no news about this incident. In China, following the disclosure of information, major personnel changes were made in the upper echelons of the rocket force. There was a person named Li Yuchao who was the commander of the rocket force, but he was replaced by Wang Hoban. This Wang Hoban is from the Navy. Normally, it is common sense that the executives of the rocket force are selected from within the rocket force. However, in this personnel appointment, a former Navy executive became the commander of the rocket force. The Chinese military is integrated with the Chinese Communist Party, so there are political commissars in the military. It has also been replaced. This personnel is not a replacement within the rocket force, but a new person selected from the Air Force. The predecessor was a person named Sao Zongbo, and the newly appointed person was Sao Sheng. The upper echelons of the Rocket Corps have been replaced by Navy and Air Force personnel. It is said that this personnel change has something to do with the information that came out in the United States. Rocket Corps Li Yuchao has a son, and he is said to be in the United States. Li Yuchao's son was targeted by U.S. intelligence in the United States, and it is rumored that the son provided the United States with military information held by his father, Li Yuchao. In the past, there was an incident in which the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China suddenly disappeared and was replaced. He is a former U.S. ambassador. It is said that he was acquainted with the son of Li Yuchao, an executive of the rocket force in the United States. And there is suspicion that Li Yuchao's son knew that he was being targeted by the American side and was leaking information. It is said that the top foreign minister was aware of this fact and dared to remain silent. Chinese Communist Party cadres have a front side and a back side. The face of the table is criticizing America. Behind the scenes, I love America and send my son to America to study. Perhaps the upper echelons of the Chinese Communist Party are of a similar mindset. Even if the son of a senior military officer had ties to the United States, he may have thought that such things were common. However, if the detailed information about the military is overtaken by the U.S. side, and if information about nuclear weapons is also included, the Xi Jinping administration will have to deal with it desperately. During the investigation, it seems that the information may have flowed from Li Yuchao's son. In June of this year, Li Yuchao was detained by Chinese authorities. It overlaps with the time when the person who was the top of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs disappeared. The person who was the top foreign minister would have known that the information inside the Chinese military was being overtaken by the United States. However, when he lived in the United States, He had a close relationship with Communist Party officials and their families. By the way, regarding the upper echelons of the rocket force, some people have gone missing or died in suspicious ways. For example, the former deputy commander was finally reported 21 days after his death, and people wondered if something had happened. There are various theories, but various investigations are being conducted regarding the upper echelons of the rocket corps. If the fact that the deputy commander is dead spreads quickly, there is no need to worry about information being leaked from the deputy commander, so the people involved can escape by staying silent. In other words, it is said that Xi Jinping hid the fact that he died for about 3 weeks because he would not be able to interrogate him. All of the people who have been replaced in the rocket force this time are from outside the rocket force. From Xi Jinping's point of view, this means that there is no one inside the rocket force that he can trust. Normally, it would be more appropriate to bring a person who is familiar with the strategy using missiles to the executives. However, it is possible that Xi Jinping is not a good match for rocket force, or that rocket force executives are dissatisfied with Xi Jinping. Or it could be that Xi Jinping is skeptical, but at the very least he is skeptical about the rocket force. In 2019, the Chinese military internally considered what would happen if Taiwan was attacked militarily. At that time, it is said that the rocket force was the strongest opposition to the attack on Taiwan. I don't know if that includes political intentions or the result of consideration as a soldier, but Xi Jinping is dissatisfied with the rocket force because he insisted that the rocket force should stop attacking Taiwan. It is said that it's possible that Xi Jinping doesn't believe the rocket force can be trusted, but behind the scenes, many in the rocket force's upper echelons may want to get along with the United States. Xi Jinping may have decided that there would be a problem with the military if the Americans were in the upper echelons of the military, but it means that Xi Jinping has not fully grasped the Chinese army. This situation can be said to be intentionally created by the United States. It dares to show that it knows not only the information that the United States has made public, but also much more information that has not been made public. The Chinese Communist Party will be suspicious of the insiders, and it will become a situation where they cannot trust each other, so it can be said that the United States succeeded. That's all for now. See you next time.